Starting farming in the USA with no experience may feel impossible, like standing in the middle of a vast field with nothing but questions in your hands. But here's the truth. Every single farmer, rancher, and grower who now thrives in America once began exactly where you are, without knowledge, without mentors, without certainty, and often without land. They began with a question, a dream, a spark, and the courage to take the first step even when everything seemed overwhelming. Farming isn't about money, tractors, or family inheritance. It's about mindset, determination, curiosity, and the willingness to learn from the soil, the seasons, the crops, and the animals. Modern American farming is no longer reserved for generational farmers. It is open to anyone with vision, passion, and persistence. Today, beginners start with small plots, a handful of chickens, a tiny greenhouse, or even microgreens on a kitchen shelf, learning one lesson at a time, observing nature, experimenting, failing, and improving. Farming is not a giant leap. It is thousands of small steps, taken patiently, consistently, and with care. And here's the secret. The land will teach you if you listen. Soil doesn't care about your resume, seeds don't care about your age, and animals don't care where you grew up. What matters is curiosity, consistency, and the willingness to grow alongside the things you cultivate. Even with zero experience, the opportunities are limitless. The United States offers support through USDA grants, beginner farmer programs, extension services, and local farming communities. The future of agriculture belongs to beginners who dare to start, who are brave enough to make mistakes and wise enough to learn from them. So if you're standing at the edge, questioning if you can do this, here's the answer. You can. You absolutely can. Today, you will learn how to start farming in the USA with no experience at all, step by step, methodically, and with confidence. Because your journey from beginner to farmer begins the moment you decide to start. Starting farming in the USA with no experience is a challenge many people dream about but hesitate to pursue, imagining that without years of family knowledge, a college degree in agriculture, or thousands of acres of land, it's impossible to begin. Yet the truth is far simpler and far more inspiring. Every successful farmer in the United States once began exactly where you are now, standing at the edge of an idea with questions, doubts, and curiosity about how to grow something meaningful. The first thing a beginner needs to understand is that farming is not one size fits all. It is a world of endless possibilities, ranging from traditional crop farming to livestock, from greenhouse microgreens to high-value specialty crops, from homesteading to regenerative farming. And each path has its own learning curve. For beginners, the safest strategy is always to start small. Small farms, small plots, small investments all provide opportunities to learn without risking too much money or wasting resources. Starting with a few raised beds, a handful of chickens, or even a single greenhouse can teach you more in months than years of reading alone. The second critical step is understanding your location and climate. Farming in America varies widely depending on the state, county, and local ecosystem. The Midwest favors corn, wheat, and soybeans. California specializes in fruits, nuts, and high-value vegetables. The Northeast supports orchards, dairy, and vegetables. The South has long growing seasons perfect for multiple crop rotations, and arid Western states require careful water management and drought-tolerant crops. Understanding local soil, rainfall patterns, frost dates, and temperature ranges is essential because it dictates what crops will thrive, what livestock breeds will succeed, and what farming methods will be most efficient. Soil testing is one of the most fundamental steps any beginner must take. Testing provides insight into nutrient levels, pH balance, organic matter, and other factors that determine crop health. Once you know the soil, you can amend it correctly and select crops suited to the land. Water management is equally important. Without water, no farm can survive. Beginners must assess rainfall, access to irrigation, water rights, and storage solutions like ponds, tanks, or rainwater systems. Some crops and animals require more water than others, so planning is crucial. Choosing a farming model comes next. Crop farming on a large scale is rarely suitable for beginners with no experience. Instead, starting with market gardening, small livestock, greenhouses, microgreens, mushrooms, or herb cultivation offers manageable learning while still providing marketable produce. Market gardening in particular is an excellent entry point because it produces high-value crops on small plots and teaches soil management, irrigation, pest control, and marketing all at once. Greenhouse farming allows year-round production and controlled conditions, ideal for regions with short growing seasons. Microgreens, with their short growth cycles and high market value, offer beginners a low-risk, profitable start. Livestock such as chickens, goats, and sheep are manageable and teach responsibility, feeding, disease management, and care routines. With these small beginnings, beginners learn essential farm operations without being overwhelmed. Knowledge acquisition is critical. Fortunately, the USA provides abundant resources for new farmers. Cooperative extension services in every state offer free workshops, field days, and hands-on learning opportunities. Universities and local agricultural programs teach soil science, irrigation, crop rotation, and livestock care. USDA programs provide beginner farmer loans, microloans, grants, technical assistance, and training programs that specifically target people with no prior experience. These resources reduce financial risk and accelerate learning. Farm planning is another step beginners cannot overlook. Even a simple one-page plan outlining what you will grow, your target markets, land requirements, tools, and financial projections provides structure. Market research is essential. Farmers markets, CSA programs, restaurants, grocery stores, and online sales platforms are all viable sales channels. Beginners often underestimate the importance of connecting production to sales. Knowing where your crops or livestock will go ensures profitability. Tools and equipment can be scaled gradually. Beginners rarely need full-size tractors at first. Hand tools, small walk-behind tractors, wheelbarrows, irrigation hoses, and basic greenhouse equipment suffice for initial operations. Technology can assist learning, management, and efficiency. Smart irrigation, soil sensors, farm apps, and online weather services provide real-time data for better decision-making. Mentorship and community learning are invaluable. Visiting farms, volunteering, attending local meetings, and joining online communities teach practical skills far faster than textbooks. Real-life observation shows how experienced farmers handle pests, harvests, irrigation, and animal care. Mistakes will happen, but they are part of the learning process. Patience, persistence, and reflection turn errors into lessons. Farming is not a sprint. It is a long-term commitment to growth, observation, and consistency. Starting small allows beginners to expand methodically, reinvesting profits, scaling operations, and integrating more complex crops or livestock over time. By listening to the land, studying resources, leveraging government programs, planning for markets, and embracing gradual growth, beginners with no experience can transform into confident farmers, capable of managing land, crops, livestock, and business operations effectively. Farming in the USA is a journey of discovery, resilience, and creativity. It requires curiosity, courage, and a willingness to learn, but it rewards with independence, sustainability, and purpose. By taking that first step, small, intentional, and informed, you enter a path thousands have walked successfully. From a single raised bed to a thriving farm, from a handful of chickens to full-scale livestock operations, every successful American farmer started with no experience. The key is to begin, to remain patient, and to grow alongside your land. Farming is not about where you start. It is about the journey, the lessons, and the persistent effort to cultivate life, growth, and